Hi students, welcome to your math lesson of the day. Today we are going to be looking at 11.1 in Big Ideas Math. So in this chapter we're going to be focusing on tally charts, bar graphs, and all the different types of charts we use to survey and count and categorize things in math. So for this example, we have a beach theme tally chart. We have some crabs, we have a little sand bucket, and then we have a sun umbrella. Ooh, it's making me want to go to the beach. But if you see on the sides, you see one line to represent one. Like if you saw one crab, you would say one. But what if you saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crabs? You will use this to represent 5 crabs. So we are going to count our umbrellas, buckets, and crabs to see what items were at the most at the beach, what items were the least, and what items were average. So I'm going to first, since umbrellas first on my chart, I'm going to count umbrellas. So I'm going to start by 1, 2, 3, 4. So we had 4 umbrellas. And I want to use this one because that represents 5 and I just saw 4 umbrellas. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4 umbrellas. Now let's count buckets. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is our representation of 5, so I'm going to click that. And then we have crabs. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 5, and then we need one more to make it 6. So now we see we have 4 items found of umbrella. We have 5 for bucket, and then we have 6 for crab. So if I was to ask you guys, so what was found most at the beach? What had the highest number? It would be crab because there's 6. And then what would be the least? Umbrella because there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then bucket had 5. Okay, let's try another example. We're going to hop on to my whiteboard. Here it is. Okay. So I'm going to draw like a nice bar graph of coins and change. So I'm going to do black for penny. And how much is 1 penny worth? 1 cent. And then blue for nickel. And nickel is worth 5 cents. And then Q for quarter. And D for dime. Okay, I'm going to make a bar graph. So I'm going to make a nice chart. And I'm going to put P down here for penny, N for nickel, D for dime, and Q for quarter. And I'm just going to count by ones on my number side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to draw a line to the number of pennies that we see in this area right here in this little section. So we look for pennies, which is in the color black. I see 1, 2, 3, 4. I see 4 pennies. So I'm going to draw my line up to the 4. And then how many for nickels? I see 1, 2, 3, 4. I see 4 nickels, so I'm going to draw another line to the 4 to represent 4 nickels. And then what about dimes? 1, 2. I see 2 dimes. And then for quarter, I just see 1, so I'm going to draw my line up to the 1. And then this type of graph, so the beach example, that was a tally graph, and then this example is a bar graph. So from looking at this bar graph, what 2 coins have the same amount of coins over here? It was the penny and the nickel because they both had 4. And then what about what had the least? It was quarter, since it only came up to 1. And then poor dime was just in the middle. But then what two had the most? It was the penny and the nickel, since they had the highest number up to the 4. So another good way to look at it is see which number is closer to 0 to see how the least amount of is. So whichever category is closest to 0, it's going to be the least, and whichever bar is going to be the highest away from 0, it's going to be the highest. So penny and nickel, they were far away from 0. They were up and away, and then quarter was the lowest one. And that was just a couple of examples of a tally chart and bar graph. But if you want to go more in depth over these examples, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you. Thanks, and adios.